Devin working. It was crazy entertaining work at that particular time. So I said, you know what? I like this.
Masterpiece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful.
Made Teofimo look like a novice. I mean, that's how good he is. 120, 109, 108. I mean, just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Is that what you expected from Shakur? No?
I mean, listen, I expected an incredible performance, but I didn't expect it to be completely one-sided. I mean, he won every round, in my opinion. Like the golfing levels was phenomenal.
Shakur, dominant performance, only lost a round, which is pretty incredible.
He gave him that round, so he took that round off. I know Shakur, he took that round off.
Well, as a fighter, what were you watching in there as the fight was progressing?
Bro, the whole time, like, I had to take I'm taking the P test, you know what I'm saying? So the whole time in the backstage, bro, I'm just going crazy. Like, he's beating him up. It's easy work. Like, he's beating Teo up. Like, it's not even a close fight, you know what I'm saying? So I was just happy for him. Super happy for him.
Shakur Stevenson has completely outclassed Teofimo Lopez on 31st January to become the youngest ever four-division champion in boxing history. Floyd Mayweather weighed in on the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight, calling it an incredibly entertaining matchup that lived up to the hype. He praised Stevenson's masterful performance, highlighting his smooth movement, precise counters, and flawless defense as he controlled the fight from start to finish.
Easy work. My brother Shakur spanked it 12 rounds, like I told him he would. I'm saying I'm proud of my brother, man. He did his thing, man.
Shakur Stevenson dominated Teofimo Lopez across 12 rounds, showcasing exceptional boxing skill and strategic mastery. Stevenson highlighted his tactical approach and ring control during the fight, explaining that he followed his game plan flawlessly. He described his performance as a demonstration of the art of boxing, landing precise shots while avoiding significant damage. Stevenson noted that he methodically dismantled Lopez's offense, executing his plan to perfection and earning the unanimous decision to claim the junior welterweight title.
It was an amazing night. I put the work in. I stayed disciplined throughout my camp. I was in tremendous shape, and Teo, he's a hell of a fighter, but I was the better man tonight. Yeah, I definitely did. I feel like he's a fighter, so he tried to fight back. Yeah, I picked him apart. In the second round, I want to say that I told my corner, I said, I'm stronger than he is. Yeah, for sure, I heard him a couple of times. My jab, my left hand to the body, my left hand up top. No, that's no disappointment. It's boxing at the end of the day. I seen him go out there, and when I was about to stop him, he started fighting back a little bit. So, respect to him. He's a sharp fighter. He got a lot of knowledge, and he did what he did to survive. I've been told you this. I told you this a minute ago. I said he's not on my level, and I proved it tonight.
Eddie Hearn also acknowledged that while he already expected Stevenson to win, he was genuinely stunned by how dominant the fight became. He admitted he didn't anticipate such a complete masterclass, describing Stevenson's performance as almost unbelievable in its one-sidedness.
Unbelievable.
Is that what you expected from Shakur? No?
I mean, listen, I expected an incredible performance, but I didn't expect it to be completely one-sided. I mean, he won every round, in my opinion. Like the golfing levels was phenomenal. And I said to Bud, like, going into 12, he could do 40 rounds, Shakur. Like, never out of control. Footwork, timing, shot selection. I actually think he could have stopped Teofimo if he'd have stepped on him.
BoMac praised Shakur Stevenson's masterful performance over Teofimo Lopez, true boxing masterpiece. He admired how smooth, calm, and composed Stevenson looked throughout the fight, describing it as a perfect example for young fighters and amateurs turning pro. BoMac noted Stevenson's ability to listen, adapt, and execute flawlessly, highlighting his sharp boxing mind and strategic awareness. He also emphasized that no matter what Lopez tried, it wasn't enough to challenge Stevenson, and questioned what it would take for anyone to beat a fighter of his skill and intelligence.
Masterpiece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful. You heard his father say in the corner, what happened to your fast hands? That didn't work, man.
Just overall, like, just given the styles and in boxing so well, like, was there any way that Teo could have put on a better performance, a better plan, and gotten a better result?
No, I don't think whatever he would have brought to the table would have worked, man. You know, Shakur just got a great boxing mind. You know, that's just it. He's got a great boxing mind, and you want to see put his mind to it, he's gonna get the job done.
What is it going to take to beat someone like him?
I don't know, Brian. Probably want to stay away from that kid, man.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis also applauded Shakur Stevenson for controlling almost every round against Teofimo Lopez, noting how Stevenson's timing, rhythm, and speed set him apart. He highlighted Stevenson's ability to command the ring, set the pace, and balance attack with defense, demonstrating a level of skill few fighters achieve. Lewis described the bout as a striking example of Stevenson's technical excellence, leaving no question about his dominance over Lopez.
He won all the rounds? Is that what you're saying? He won all 12 rounds?
Well, maybe he lost one, but he won the majority of rounds.
At what time did you realize that this was just going to be Shakur taking over the whole fight?
After the fourth round.
After the fourth round?
Yeah.
Teofimo, it seems like he couldn't just get it going. Like he just tried differently going up and down. The counters were getting him.
Yeah.
What could he done differently tonight?
I don't know. You know, it's difficult to box against a great mover like that. And, you know, he tried. He definitely tried. His dad was emotional. You know, he wanted him to do better, but, you know, this is boxing.
Terrence Crawford also highlighted why so many fighters hesitate to face Shakur Stevenson, praising him as a complete and exceptionally skilled boxer. He noted Stevenson's elite defense, perfect timing, distance control, and quick reactions under pressure. Crawford acknowledged that critics sometimes label Stevenson a runner or question his knockout power, but insisted those criticisms miss the point. Fighters respect the threat he poses. His poise, rhythm, toughness, and precise punch placement make him extremely difficult to beat. Crawford emphasized that Stevenson's combination of skill, discipline, and mental toughness makes him a nightmare matchup for anyone in the ring.
There's a reason why certain fighters didn't want to take the chance to step in the ring with this fighter. He's great. A lot of people started saying, oh, he's a runner, he's this, he's that. Just to detour people from being excited to see him fight because he's not knocking people out and all that crazy stuff. But they would see why people really don't want to get in the ring with him come tomorrow.
I know you've shared the ring with him, sparring plenty of times. What makes Shakur Stevenson great? What makes him different? What makes him, I don't want to say an ilk of yourself, but in the same kind of era, the Bud Crawford era, he's got a Shakur Stevenson era coming.
Everything. The offense, the defense, the poise, the rhythm, the distance, the timing, punch placement, the react time. Like, I can go on and on. You know, the toughness, the grit, the grind. Like, he's amazing.
Furthermore, Bruce Carrington praised Shakur Stevenson's performance, calling it phenomenal and completely dominant. He explained that Lopez had little chance because he repeatedly got out of position, doubled up punches at the wrong times, or turned square or southpaw, mistakes Stevenson exploited effortlessly. Carrington highlighted Shakur's sharp reflexes and precise countering, which kept Lopez at bay and made the fight look easy from the very first round. He concluded by congratulating Stevenson on an excellent and well-deserved victory.
Shakur looked phenomenal, you know, dominant performance. Just what do you think about that?
Man, he made it easy. You know, I was saying, like, if Tio was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Tio, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. Like, that's not gonna work, bro. You're not gonna take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Tio at bay. It was an easy night from round one for him. Shakur got the dub.
Excellent. Appreciate your time, brother. Congrats, champ.
Rooting for Teofimo Lopez, Daniel Jacobs watches Shakur Stevenson dominate every round and can't help but respect the performance. He highlights Stevenson's precision, timing, and tactical intelligence, noting how effortlessly he controls the pace, neutralizes Lopez's attacks, and showcases why he ranks among boxing's elite today.
Daniel, what do you think of the fight? Amazing fight. Teofimo is my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur. And I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk. Been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You can tell the difference in skill set, and that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit, it wasn't about heart, it was about sheer talent. And Shakur displayed that tonight, so.
You said Teofimo is your guy. What did he need to change to turn this into more success than he had tonight?
For who?
For Teofimo.
Hey, yo, sometimes you just gotta grab your nuts and you just gotta put balls to the wall, unfortunately. But that's just what it is. And sometimes when you think you can keep up with a boxer that's superior to you, you want to try to go with the motion rather than going with what can potentially get you. Because boxing is, you can be losing every round and then the last round you get a lucky or a really confident shot that can knock somebody out. But they didn't try to me. Love the kid, talented kid. I mean, he kept his grit tonight, but it just wasn't enough. It was like I won't say a landslide, but it was just a difference in talent tonight.
Daniel Jacobs, while rooting for Lopez, watches Shakur Stevenson dominate every round and admits the performance is exceptional, commanding respect. He notes Stevenson's precision, control, and ring intelligence, showing why he stands out as one of boxing's elite fighters.
It looked like for a split moment that Teofimo was doing well when he's in the inside, just catching him in the inside. But when he was fighting from the outside, he was having trouble getting Shakur Stevenson. What do you think? He could have stayed a little bit more on the inside throughout the fight? It looked like that was probably a little bit going to get him closer to, being a more competitive fight.
I would only assume that they were prepping for this fight with that understanding, knowing that he is more of the assertive inside fighter. So the fact that he didn't push that notion tonight with aggression and urgency, you can tell that it was he just was going through the motion.
Well, where does Shakur Stevenson go from here? There's a lot of names right now. There's Devin Haney, the Ryan Garcia. I mean, we got Ryan with Barrios. We just got Conor Benn. There's Wally Romero. Some around here. Who do you think will beat him? And Gervonta Davis, and he gets everything together. But who do you think would be another great matchup for Shakur Stevenson?
Hey, all of those guys that you just mentioned. A champion doesn't have to fight one person over the next. But as long as he can get them all in, that's all we want. We want him to fight the best. He is the best currently, and so we want him to fight all of the rest of the challenges. And so for me, it's like, I'm just happy to be here supporting the next generation coming up.
Coach Wally Moses also voiced strong admiration for Shakur Stevenson's dominant performance against Teofimo Lopez, calling it a career-defining victory that reinforces his elite status in boxing. He pointed out that claiming another title at 140 lbs marks a major achievement, reflecting Stevenson's talent, focus, and hard work. Moses also praised Stevenson's ring intelligence, noting how he dictated the action, stayed in control, and effectively shut down Lopez's game plan throughout the bout.
Your grandson, Shakur Stevenson, has just been on a masterclass to defeat Teofimo Lopez. Give us your immediate reaction.
Well, I think he had a great performance tonight, and I think, Teo was a formidable opponent. Shakur's been looking for these here fights, these legacy fights, and I think this is just the beginning. So, the guys that come on beyond us here, I think will help him, embark on his legacy and, he get it just doing boxing. That's all he want, man, is a fair trade. He came out of amateur boxing, #1 in the world. Now he wants to go into professional boxing and become #1 in the world.
Adam Catterall and Nick Pete were left in awe by Shakur Stevenson's masterclass over Teofimo Lopez. Adam admitted he never expected such a dominant display, recalling doubts about Stevenson handling a naturally bigger opponent the way Lomachenko had struggled. He described watching the fight as jaw-dropping, marveling at Stevenson's flawless technique. Nick praised Stevenson's ring craft, pointing out his perfect control of distance, balance, and positioning. Lopez struggled to land anything meaningful, constantly outmaneuvered by Stevenson's speed and anticipation. Even when Teofimo threw combinations, Stevenson calmly reset and fired back with precise counters, leaving Lopez confused and off balance throughout the bout.
And Shakur Stevenson is absolutely of that ilk. This performance against Teofimo Lopez, obviously, I was engaged with the UFC overnight because Volk was in the main event, and I'm a huge Volkanovski fan. But I was across this. I couldn't wait to watch it start to finish as soon as I got home today because I couldn't quite believe it, to be totally honest with you. I did a Nick's Picks for our Patreon on Friday. And of course, I waxed lyrical about the talent, the ability, the way Shakur Stevenson's driven his way through 3 weight divisions, beating some of the biggest names and hardly getting a glove landed on him. But I kept coming back to, at some point you go too big, at some point you bite off more than you can chew, at some point being the smaller guy comes back and bites you. And I kept thinking of my boy, Lomachenko, my ride and die. And I thought, Loma, came short against Teo.
Both of them agreed that Shakur Stevenson's performance firmly established him as a top-tier fighter. They praised his technical mastery, ring control, and defensive precision, noting that his dominance over Teofimo Lopez wasn't accidental. His ability to read the fight, adjust on the fly, and consistently land clean shots over 12 rounds demonstrated elite timing, intelligence, and versatility. Catterall and Pete concluded that what fans saw was a showcase of genuine boxing excellence, confirming Stevenson's place among the sport's most complete and exceptional athletes today.
And that's why I watched it today. Even though I knew the result, I watched it today with a cup of tea, slack-jawed, with chin on the floor, just like, this kid is absolute. Don't take that personally. This athlete, Shakur Stevenson, this technician, is absolutely one of the greatest fighters on planet Earth right now. What he did to Teofimo Lopez last night was nothing short of sensational, remarkable, incredible. I didn't see it coming. And I think anyone that says, outside that inner circle who are all in on Shakur, anyone that says they've seen this coming is full of shit. We all thought this was a real fight. We all thought this was a pick'em fight. People were going Shakur, people were going Teo.
Yeah.
No one believed Shakur Stevenson was going to take Teofimo Lopez to school.
Meanwhile, Andre Ward stressed that Shakur Stevenson's career is far from complete and that he still faces defining challenges ahead. He praised Stevenson's elite skill, creativity, and adaptability, highlighting his ring IQ, athleticism, and versatility to execute any strategy he chooses. Ward emphasized that this dominant performance is only one chapter in a larger, still unfolding legacy. Even after such a decisive victory, Stevenson has more major fights and opportunities to cement himself as one of boxing's all-time greats.
How good is Shakur? I interviewed Terence Crawford and he said he could be the greatest of all time.
We don't know. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. He's a great for sure. How great, we're gonna see. He got a lot. He can box as long as he wants to box because he don't take punishment, and he's a master boxer. You know what I mean? So just excited for him, man. Happy for him, man. It's hard for me to see my brothers fight when I'm not fighting. That's harder to me than to actually fight because I can't help him. So I'm just happy it's over, man. I'm happy he got the win and get home to them babies, get that check.
Last one from me. He's in there in the ring with Conor Ben. Do you like that fight for sure?
Absolutely, yeah.
How do you think that one goes?
Conor's always dangerous. He's gonna come forward, but man, it's gonna look a lot like that. And there's no disrespect to Conor Ben. I respect what he does and how he does it, but the skill set, bro, is different. They say them boxers boring, man. Why they be saying that? They say the boxers boring, but the boxers they can deal with any style though.
Clarissa Shields also reacted with immense pride to Shakur Stevenson's commanding victory over Teofimo Lopez. She reflected on watching his journey from the undercards to now claiming a world title, admitting the moment brought her to tears. Shields highlighted Stevenson's resilience and the obstacles he's overcome, praising how he continues to shine every time he enters the ring. She also pointed out his sharp technique, noting his effective use of the jab and body shots, as well as his athleticism and control throughout the fight. In her view, Stevenson delivered a perfect performance, leaving nothing more to wish for.
119, I think, to 109 with the scorecard, so basically like 11 rounds to 1. What did you think about the outcome and the fact that he was able to win so dominantly?
One, shout out to New York. To Bruce Carrington, he's world champion now. I'm so proud of him.
Facts.
Been watching him fight the undercards and all this stuff forever, and to see him become world champion tonight, I was bawling, I was crying, yo. So shout out to him. He shine every time he come out to see his story, see how much he done overcame everything. Now he get his 12th round knockout, looking good against Jermaine Ortiz. Wonderful. Now we got the main event with Shakur, and I knew that was gonna happen. Everybody be talking all that rah to me. I know boxing, and like I told y'all, we was gonna see a little bit of athleticism, but we was gonna see Shakur be using his jab, going to the body, and we saw blood today. Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is a stoppage. I can't ask for nothing else.
Paulie Malignaggi lauded Shakur Stevenson's boxing skill, pointing out how his right hook effectively opened a cut over Teofimo Lopez's eye. He explained how Stevenson controlled the fight through positioning, using a high guard, drawing Lopez into his space, or stepping just out of reach to frustrate him. Paulie highlighted Stevenson's diverse counterattacks, landing precise left uppercuts to both head and body with perfect timing. He also praised Stevenson's jab, which he could deliver from any distance, whether advancing, retreating, or standing still, making it extremely difficult for Lopez to get close.
You're always going to have the edge. It's just how much of a master are you going to be. Shakur is a next level master of position. He's a defensive specialist. I think the broadcast made a good point. He's more like Floyd Mayweather than he's Terence Crawford. Crawford was a little bit more offensive. All these guys, to be that good, you have to be a master of position regardless. But you know, he does strike me a little bit in the mold of a Mayweather in that effectiveness from the position game. First of all, that southpaw jab is something sick. I mean, he's got a really snappy, sharp southpaw jab. He throws it in various ways from various looks. He'll keep it in a shoulder roll look and throw it. He'll extend it. Sometimes he throws it short. Sometimes he'll extend it really hard and like turn his back into it and turn his shoulder into it. You know, kind of blade. And sometimes he'll throw it really short. He'll use it where he's stepping back and throwing it on a counter. He'll use it short and not have to extend it.
Paulie Malignaggi highlighted Shakur Stevenson's control in the later rounds, noting how he methodically pressured Teofimo Lopez and dominated each exchange while keeping the audience captivated. He explained that elite jabbing fighters like Stevenson rarely fall for stalling tactics, as their jab sets the ideal distance and forces opponents to react. Paulie emphasized that Stevenson's combination of speed, accuracy, defensive awareness, and positional intelligence makes him extremely hard to overcome. He also touched on potential future matchups, rematches, and high-profile fights like Conor Benn, praising Stevenson's skill and suggesting his rise in the pound-for-pound rankings. Overall, Stevenson's performance reinforced why Paulie and other experts consider him a complete, strategic, and elite-level boxer today.
You know, different looks with the high guard, again, the shoulder roll guard. He spins and pivots really nicely. Nothing too crazy fancy. Like, for example, I don't think of him as fancy as, say, a Pernell Whitaker, but it's about just as effective because he's got that southpaw style and he's got that southpaw snappy jab. And it's not a violent jab. For example, like, I don't know, Hector Camacho had a pretty violent southpaw jab where it was like repetitive, like a machine gun, you know? It's not like a machine gun southpaw jab, but it's a controlling, whipping southpaw jab, you know? And you don't always see that, you know? And sometimes when you see that, you see it from natural right-handers who are converted to southpaw. You think Holzbatafora, maybe Chad Dawson. I'm not quite sure. I don't quote me on this. I don't think Shakur is a natural right-hander. I think he's a natural southpaw. So the fact that his jab is that snappy and that nice is, I mean, it's really, really amazing.
That's it from today's video, and share your opinions about this fight in the comments and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.